Okay. So good evening, ma'am. Good evening, all the participants. And it's a great pleasure for me to introduce our speaker today. And on behalf of Amity University, so I welcome you, ma'am. And this session is scheduled on the topic that how to plan a startup, legal and ethical steps. So I welcome you, ma'am. So today's speaker is Dr. Shivani Gupta. Dr. Shivani Gupta is a researcher, entrepreneur, co-founder of Inochi Care. Dr. Shivani has earned her doctorate degree in biotechnology from Birla Institute of Technology and Science, that is BITS Pilani, post which she completed the Biodesign Fellowship with an aim to solve unmet clinical needs and developing innovative medical technologies. She co-founded Inochi Care and is working on advanced wound healing technology. She has one patent granted and two patents have been filed by her. She has done healthcare innovation projects in the past, including faster diagnosis of infectious diseases. She believes access to quality healthcare should be a right, not a privilege, and she is working towards the mission of healing the non-healing wounds. She has mentored several budding young life science and social entrepreneurs on need assessment, fundraising, business strategy, and regulatory compliances. So I welcome you, ma'am, and our participants. They are really looking forward to hear from you and interact with you. Thank you, and over to you, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Rachna, for the kind introduction. So, I know that lots of students are attending this session and they want to know what it takes to start a startup and what all they should think, what they all should consider before they take the step. I would like to share my own experiences rather than the stuff which they will find on the internet, that what we are doing as a startup, what one should consider before starting a startup. And then after sharing my own experiences and some of the information, then I'll be open to have a Q&A and a discussion with the students if they have any specific questions.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, so I'll be sharing my screen. Yeah, is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yeah. So hi, as Dr. Rachna said, we are a medical technology startup. Our startup name is Inochi Care Private Limited, and currently we are working in the area of chronic wound care. So I'll discuss slightly more detail also what we are exactly doing, what our product is. But I think this session is more on about entrepreneurship. So I would like to share my thoughts on that. What are the ethical considerations, the general consideration one should think of starting a startup, especially when you are going to have your startup in India, and the some of the legal requirements, and then I'll show you what we are doing. So if you are considering to start up, if you are considering to have your own business, your own idea to work on your thinking, there are few things I would like to share with all of you that you should think upon before you take that decision. First is any kind of startup in any sector, whether it's a medical device startup, whether it's a agriculture related, it's a smart cities, it's mobility, any IT, anything, you have to understand that why you are going to do that, for whom you are solving any kind of pain point, and for whom you are solving, what you are solving, and for whom you are solving. Because then only you will get to know who are your customers, who is going to pay for it. If you have developed something but no one wants to pay for it, there will be no point of developing something. Because when we say startup, it has to have a for profit angle, it has to have a business viability. So you need to know who will pay for what you are developing for. Then next, especially for the people who are going to work on something which is a very high tech or deep tech stuff, they need to validate their technology, they need to validate their concept, and they need to see what is the IP component in that, what is the patentability. Because if you are entering into any kind of high tech or a deep tech sector, especially when engineering and technology is involved, you need to protect it so that later on you can monetize it when the you commercialize that particular technology. The next is, I would suggest an entrepreneur need to have a micro as well as a macro vision. You should know how your next 2 months, 3 months work plan is, but you need to also know the bigger picture that in case this plan works out, what is going to be your next step and what is going to be your next step if that plan doesn't work out. You have to have a smaller as well as a bigger picture. Then next thing I would say, especially when we are working for India and when me coming from a medical background, you need to take care of Indian context if you are building for India, because India is a very, very different market when you compare it to any other market. The requirements we have in India, the requirements, the users, the customers, the landscape itself is very, very different. So for any particular geography, when you are developing something, you need to understand the context or the requirement of that particular geography. Then definitely no idea, no startup is going to work without having a funding. But having said that, I would also like to tell you, when you raise funds, when you have funding, that is just the starting point. It's not that you have won the battle. It means you have just gathered the right instrument to start your battle. So funding is crucial, but funding is not a checkpoint of being successful. So you have to have this concept very, very clear in your mind. Next is, having a right team is one of the key point that where you will go, to what length you will go in your startup, that having right people working with you, having the right team. Because initially it's very, very easy to build some prototype or some concept, but making it work in the field and making sure it keeps working fine requires more effort, and you have to have right team for that purpose. And for these are few thumb rules which we have followed and we have experienced, irrespective of the sector you are working in, irrespective of the domain you are working in, to minimize the risk that what you are going to work on. Validate your idea as much as you can. Talk to your potential users, talk to any of the stakeholders, any of the area you are going to work in. Talk to as many people as you can. Talk to a school kid, to any domain people, to understand what you are trying to build, for whom you are trying to build. Do those people need that? You need to validate your idea as much as you can. This will boost up your team's confidence also, that okay, this is needed. You have users waiting for your product, because building something, even whatever great thing you build, but if that is not needed by your users, that is not required. And once you know what you're going to build, test your proof of concept before building your main product. You need to build a prototype, show it to your users, get their feedback, reiterate it. You need to have as much as validation before you go live in the market, with your users, because ultimately if you keep your users in your development mode, in your development cycle, it's going to help you in future. So this is one of the example I thought I will share it with you. When I say you have to keep all your stakeholders, all your users in mind when you are developing, because every stakeholder thinks what's in it for me, and you have to have those answers right and those answers figured out for yourself. And when we as a medical device startup, we think in the healthcare field, for example, my stakeholders are physicians or the doctors, patients. Who is going to pay? Sometimes it may be the insurance company who is going to pay. Sometimes it will be patients out of pocket expenditure. Sometimes it will be a government sponsored charitable hospital. So you need to understand, and the hospitals. So when you are building something, I knew these are my stakeholders. I knew what I am going to offer to these stakeholders and what value it will add to their lives, why they should be interested in if I am building something. So you have to have each and everything figured out, why I am building it, for whom I am building it, who is going to pay for it, what value addition my product is going to add in each of the stakeholders' life. So that's one of the very, very important consideration I would suggest everyone should keep in mind. And yes, after you are very much confident that you have figured out this point, then there are certain legal compliances when you think to start a business, when you think, okay, I'm going to do this, then you have to do all your paperwork also. And now it's very, very easy to form a startup in India. The procedures are very simple. Even within a week, you can form your startup. But be sure in which state, in which geography you are going to find your startup, because then you will have to do all the certification and licensings for that. You need to have your all the contracts in place. For example, employment contracts. For example, if your startup is concerned with any kind of environmental activity, you need to have all those contracts in place. You need to know what a particular state's requirements are for the tax purpose, for the business purpose. You need to have the documentation in place. But that's not a very, very difficult job. There are so many legal consultants available, even the online sites available these days, which do it at very, very ease, and not even much costly this process is. And especially again, when it's a engineering or a technology based product, when we talked about the IPs, you need to have your business protected in the right form. When we say trademarks, it's a identification of your business. Like we all identify all the bigger businesses from their logos. From your core idea should be patented. And if you're working on, for example, lots of computer science students work on algorithms, you need to have copyrights on that, because whenever you will go to commercialize all these things, if those things are not patented, you will not be able to monetize them. So legally, one legal compliance is forming your business right way in a particular state, following the state policy as well as the national policy of forming a startup. Second, protecting your business with the right paperwork, whether it's trademarks, patents, copyrights. And after telling you why you should form a startup, I would really, really like to share with you some of the myths, and which I have heard a lot with when we talk to young entrepreneurs or the students, that why you should not form a startup. If you think really that entrepreneurs are their own bosses, trust me, it's not. You will have a new boss every day. You will have to have connected to all your stakeholders, your teammates, your employees, your vendors, your funders, everyone. And you will not know that for the next day who's going to your boss. So that's not true. So be very, very clear. Don't start up if you think you are not answerable to anyone if you are going to have a startup. Second thing, if you think entrepreneurship is fun and cool, trust me, it's not after first 6 months. You will know how the responsibilities are spanning out. It's not fun. It will be daily mundane work also involved. It will also be very, very compliance driven, very much regulations driven. You will have to have lots of processes in place. Yes, it will be fun when you are developing something, but there will be lots of responsibility along with that. So for just the coolness quotient or the fun quotient, which I have heard a lot among the students, it's not after first 6 months or first 1 year. So be very, very concerned about this thing. Be very, very clear about this thing, that it needs your time and effort. It needs that sincere effort. And if you think you're working in a job and you think you are bored of your job and you will start your startup, I will suggest to think again. If you're bored from your job, take a break, go for a vacation, then resume your job rather than starting a startup. Because for your startup, you will be working even harder than you are working for a job. There will be some days which will be even more boring than in a day job. You will be working as an employee also. You will be your boss also. There will be so many other bosses also. So it's not an escape out from boredom of a day job. Then next, if you think it's a way of quick success and wealth, it's not. It takes lots of time. It takes lots of effort to reach to a point when you say, either you have made your own space in this particular thing in a business, in a startup. It takes a lot of effort. It's not a shortcut to success and wealth. You have to be prepared to be a long-term player for that thing. As I mentioned earlier also, because lots of people think if you have raised funding for your startup, you are done, you are successful. No, it's not. People do congratulate each other when they raise funds. Understand it, when you raise funds, you have means you're going to start your battle. It's not that you have achieved something. You're going to start doing that job. That is just a mean to do your job. That's not the milestone of success. So keep these things very, very clear in your mind. Talk to your seniors, talk to the entrepreneurs in the field, talk to people who have established big companies, so that you don't fall in these things, assuming few things. So because with as much clarity you will start your startup, you will be more successful in that thing. So this is one of the things, especially if people are going to start a medical device or a healthcare startup or an agricultural startup or anything, when we say which has a social impact, especially when we talk about healthcare, because I come from that background. It's very true that initially we are driven with that impact. We are driven with that social impact which is creating, when we see the happiness it's creating. But parallelly, you have to make sure that you are building some business which will be sustainable and viable in a long term, which will be generating profit for you. So be very, very clear when you are entering into some space which has a social impact, that you don't get carried away with only the social impact. You have to think about your finances very, very clearly. So that's the thing. And why especially I saw like biofarming is one of the sector which this particular program of MIT University has focused on. Lots of industrial biotechnology was involved, and especially science and technology when it's involved. Why it's the right time to start also, even I gave you so many disclaimers, but being in India right now at this time, there are many opportunities available. So if you think you believe in your idea and you think you are ready to take on this journey, the ecosystem is very, very conducive at this time. You will get lots of opportunities in terms of funding, in terms of mentorship, in terms of government initiatives. There are so many incentives given by Startup India. I would suggest all of you to visit Startup India platform once. Take any sector you think of working or starting a startup. They have some policies, some schemes, some mentorship, or some kind of incubation activities going on. So just see that platform. You will get to know how much India is working on pushing this startup mindset among Indian community. So just take advantage of that thing. Just try to get hold of people who are involved in this thing and talk to them. And this lots of opportunities are available in this field. So now I will show you that what exactly we are doing at our company. So we as a startup company are working on a wound healing technology, and our product is our device and our dressing patch, which enables faster healing of diabetic foot ulcers, bed sores, and the trauma wounds like a road traffic accident wound. And the best part is, in today's world, when you talk about technology and startup, there are involvement of different disciplines. And in our team who developed this product, there is an engineering field involved, there is a product designer working with us, there are people from the clinical background as well as people from the research background. So everyone had to come together because we wanted to be sure in each and every step that what we are building, how we will build it, who are the people who are going to use it. So when we have answered to all these questions, a team of all these people from all these 4 disciplines, we work together and develop this product, which is undergoing the clinical trials, and we have got patent for the same. So that's what I'm saying. When now you know the interdisciplinary startups, interdisciplinary research is very, very insane. And how the domains are cross-talking, you need help from various domains. So when you are in a university like MIT, which is offering so many different courses, so talk to people from different disciplines also. Try to have your teammates from different disciplines if you need their expertise. Don't think that one person will do the whole job or the complete work. You need to have right people with right skill set for doing the right job. So be open, talk to people, and if it involves interdisciplinary work, have them on board right from the beginning. That will widen the scope of your work. So these were the few achievements which we got at various national and international platforms. The reason being, I would say the biggest reason why we could achieve this, what we have achieved was working with the right stakeholders since beginning and validating our idea at each and every step. Not that once we did it, we don't need to do it again. We validated it again and again at each and every step. So that was the reason we exactly knew what we are building, for whom we are building, so that we could do that. So I have a few more other slides also, but before taking that, I would like to know, like if in the students, there are particular questions which they have in mind, or there is a particular segment they would like me to talk on, so that it's for them, what they want to know, what their queries are. I would be interested in addressing that rather than just me sharing my experiences. So I would request the students now to be open and to share their queries, their thoughts, and make it as interactive as they can so that they get the benefit what they expect out of this session.
So, ma'am, after getting this idea that you are going to develop a medical device, so, ma'am, how did you stress this before implementing or forming a team?
So you mean to say where did we test it before on the actual patients, or within our team? How did we test it?
Ma'am, I am asking that after getting an idea that
Yeah.
you are going to like make a product which heals the wound.
Yes. Yeah.
So, ma'am, how did you get to know that this will work, or like after getting idea, how you proceed for the further things?
Yes, yes. Okay. So I tell you, once we knew that we want to work in this thing and we had an idea, how did we test that it will work? So that's what I said.
Yes, ma'am.
We had people. We were people. We had people from clinical background, from engineering background, and biotech background. So we understood why when a wound doesn't heal, why it doesn't heal, and what are the biophysical and biochemical characteristics what we want to control by building a engineering product or electromechanical product. So first we developed a kind of a mock-up, a kind of a very, very crude proof of concept that, okay, at the wound, we need to control these parameters, which are biophysical parameters like the right amount of moisture and temperature there, the right amount of gaseous delivery there, the right amount of biochemical forces there. Then we see how engineering wise we control those parameters. We build a very, very crude prototype, and we simulated on it on an artificial wound which we created, and then we took it to 10 different doctors. We took their feedback. We see if it is doing this, and this will control these 10 parameters on the wound, and this will be the response. We tested it more on the engineering side first, then we show its dynamics on the artificial wound which we created, and that's where we showed how will we control these parameters. We talked to those doctors, we noted down all our engineering parameters, and that is called bench testing basically. So when we were sure about that, then we started building our actual product.
All right, ma'am. And then after getting the idea and then implementing all these, completing research, ma'am, how did you sure that if you are getting this product will like establish in markets and it's make a huge market in the medical field?
Yes. So there are two ways to do it, which we did. One is called a secondary research and the other is called primary research. So what do you do in a secondary research? We analyze the existing market reports or the research papers, which we see how many people generally are getting affected by these kind of wounds. How many hospitals are there which are having patients with these kind of wounds. Parallelly, we did a user survey with 200 doctors across different states of India. We had our questionnaire. We talked to them that on a daily basis how many patients they see, how many patients are getting these kinds of wound, and we showed our mock-up product to them that if we provide this kind of a product, how much interested they would be to use this product. So we did this primary research as well, and when we were sure that out of the people we talked to, out of the 200 stakeholders when we personally interviewed, more than 90% were interested to have this product. And the market reports also validated this when we saw how much $1 billion market is this market of particularly advanced wound care. Then we knew that what's the market size, which is a customers target customers where we need to focus. That's where how we established our market requirement for this product.
Ma'am, this question is apart from a discussion, but can I ask, is there any competition existing in the market like your
Is it
product?
your voice is very faint? Is there any?
Ma'am, is there any competition like any comparative product in the market
Yeah,
like
there
your
are.
product?
Yeah, not exactly the same product. When you say competition, everything today, what can heal a wound, or if there is no advanced product, even a simple gauge dressing, which we call patti in very general language, that is also competition. So you need to see, but what unique value proposition you are giving, how you are better than any of the existing product, you have to have that very clear in mind. And again, as I said, and you need to protect that with a patent, and you have to be ahead of your competition, that at least one or two features or one or two pain points which you are solving, that is not solved by any of the existing product. So that is how you handle the competition, and there is always a new R&D happening from our end also, because we know once we are in the space, what will be the future of this product, how we want to even further improvise it. That's where you balance this competition.
And then at initially stage, how did you collect the funds for this?
Okay, so how did we initially collect the fund? So when we say other technology products and the innovative products, the patentable products you are working, there are lots of schemes by government of India which gives you initial funding, the prototyping grants to validate your idea. That's what I mentioned. The Startup India platform, as well as sector specific schemes are also there. For example, Department of Biotechnology, Ministry of Science and Technology, for example, Ministry of Electronics and IT, Ministry of Pharmaceuticals. All these have different schemes in a particular domain who gives you grants, prototyping grants to validate your concepts and ideas. And these grants vary from amount of 10 lakh rupees to 50 lakh rupees. And they generally review your ideas, your progress also. So that's where we sought our initial funding out, because we knew what we are going to build. Then we made that mock-up and presented to that committee. That's where we secure our first funding to develop it further.
All right, ma'am.
So there
Thank
are
you.
lots of opportunity nowadays. because I don't know in what sector specific you are asking, but almost in every sector there are available. Do visit Startup India website, and if you have any particular question related to any particular sector or idea, if you are thinking to work on, feel free to write to me, and I can suggest you where you can have your initial funding for.
All right, ma'am. We will definitely look into it.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, till now, ma'am, what is the biggest challenge or setback you have faced in like
Yeah.
starting?
So the challenges have been of different types since we started, and it does change over the time. So I would say initially, as the last, it asked me a question about funding. Initially, when you are starting up and you are the first generation entrepreneur, you are looking for the funding. First challenge was, okay, how do we get our first grant? Because you have to be very, very clear on your idea, how you are going to test it, and you have to show some proof of concept. First challenge was definitely to get that first funding, but the challenges have been, second challenge was how you convince people that you are the best team who will deliver on it, why you are the only team they should trust on, that you can deliver this thing. So you have to have all those things figured out. You know how your technology will work, you know what's the future of this technology. You need to have that smaller plan as well as bigger plan. And the challenges which the major challenge we faced as a medical technology startup was because there are lots of regulatory compliances involved with medical device startup. So to take that approval from Government of India and from the ethics committee to put our first product on the patient for clinical trial was our biggest challenge which we faced.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, apart from this, someone guided you or some kind of guidance you have.
Yeah, we have mentors from different domains. Like we have a mentor from a clinical domain, like a very senior faculty from AIMS. We have a mentor from business background also, which we have developed over time when we went and talked to people, when we visited a lot of these events also, when we showcased our product, when we realized, okay, this is the particular domain we needed help. Who are the people who can help? We approached them, talked to them, and when we thought this is a person we need advice from, we approached to them, we talked to them, we worked with them for some time, and we have them as advisors on board. And that's true. You need that mentors and advisors time to time for different things who guide you if you feel stuck at any time point.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am?
Yeah.
Good evening, ma'am.
Hi, good
Ma'am,
evening.
my question is that after you've developed your product, could you share some of your experiences which you encountered while you were promoting it among the customers?
Yeah, hi Aniksha. Yes, see, I would tell you what's the difference when you are developing it and when you are testing it, the field, and when it comes to the customers. So when you are developing this product and testing in your own bench testing in your own constrained environment, everything works very, very well. Because your team is also developing, they are very much familiar. Some of the biases come in. But when you take it into the field for beta testing or the users testing, you get to know a lot of different things. Sometimes it's very, very common thing of okay, what are their expectations out of this product, or how to give the user information, how to press this button. So that first testing is very important with the actual customers. Second is you need to be very, very open to listen to the feedback. That has been my major learning. Very, very open. You should not be in that mindset ki we have developed the best product. You should not be in the mindset, oh, this particular person or this particular community, what they need about, what they know about technology. No, you have to be very open to the feedback. You have to come back and discuss it with your team, and you have to make those changes, those if needed at a point, if it is a common feedback from your users. So listening to your users and making the required changes. That is I would say my major learning from this experience.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, any tips for us for a budding in entrepreneurship? Like we have to start, like what are the rescue things we have to keep in mind before starting?
Yeah, that Shivam, that I think I shared that only in my presentation also, that do
No, no,
validate
ma'am.
what, sorry.
Ma'am, I am asking about a rescue situation, like this point where you stuck and like where you can't decide that I am going this in a right way or not.
So in that case, I would just say in that it's okay if it is not, it's failing, you think. I would say then go and seek help. Talk to people. You think if you're stuck from a technological front, go and talk to the senior peoples in the technology who have been building technology. Or for example, if you are coming from a MIT University, you know these are the profs who have strength in this particular domain. Go talk to them. If you are stuck with validation, do take help from people who are experts in conducting the market research. If you are stuck with I would say if it is a medical product, you talk to the clinicians. I would say it's I always the thing is talk your challenges out with the right people, because a lot of the time I have seen this hesitation of people portraying it, everything is going well, we are not facing any challenging, that hesitation to talk. I would say ask for help if you feel stuck at somewhere, and if you realize that you are really stuck with some problem which you did not think of earlier and it's a roadblock, you should be wise enough to take a decision to pivot that idea, to change that idea, and be open to explore the alternative pathway. That's the just I would suggest in that case, that be open, be flexible, be ready to accept that you have made mistake and you need to change it now. That's all.
Sure, ma'am. I'm
And there
definitely
is no
going to.
crime in failing. That's okay. You are giving lesson to lot of other people who will be going to start similar kind of thing, that okay, this thing doesn't work, report it, share those experiences with people also. Ki, this thing you tried didn't work, this was a failure, so that you are saving effort of lot many other people coming into this field. So there is absolutely no crime in failing. So be open to try new things.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, suppose something in the market like product A is existing in the market, and we have like upgraded the product to product B, which is upgraded, but the cost, the shift in cost, like it's a bit high, but it is like very useful and helpful in other aspects too. So like ma'am, how do we convince her that in India, as we know that cost problems, they are like major issues facing. So like how can we overcome it?
So there you need to say, as you said, if the product which you are improvising, you are saying what value it's adding to your customer's life. Is it worth that that customer will pay? Then the cost will not be a concern. You should know who your target customer is. But if you are improvising a product to that level that is not going to solve any pain for the customer, or they don't see worth of that improvisation or value addition of their money, they will not pay for that. That's where the user testing comes into the picture. You need to talk to 50 or 100 potential users, that will they pay, for example, you say additional 500 or 1,000 bucks or 5,000 for this particular. You need to see whether they're really feeling that pain for which they will pay that additional cost.
Yes, ma'am. Like, suppose we are serving farmers, as farmers are very reluctant to like new technologies. They like don't easily adopt these things.
Yeah.
So like they won't be like getting the things, or really we have understood or explained the things to
Hmm.
them, but it's like no, why should we spend more 10,000s to that when we do it manually? So why
Yeah.
should we do? It's like the farmers,
So
they are not open to new adopted technologies.
So see, when you say very rightly, you only answered your question when you said the farmers will be reluctant that okay, why we spend 10,000 more when we can do it manually. Maybe then you are talking about the farmers who have smaller part of the land where the manual labor is feasible for them to do, but the technology which you are developing may be needed by the farmers who have a higher higher area of the land. Maybe you need to talk to the organizations or like bigger organizations who does farming at a larger level. Maybe those are your customers, not the smaller farmers. So you need to identify your customers right and then talk to them. If your solution is for the a land or the higher area where you can deploy that technology and you can cost give them the value addition where the manual labor is not feasible, and that farmer understand that in a year how it will be adding value, they will buy their product. It may not be the smaller farmer. So you need to identify the right customer target segment also. Not every farmer will be using your solution.
Yes, ma'am. So when they're like readily like using this techniques that are small like big farmers, so
Yeah.
when they'll see the uses, so middle like below that farmer range, they'll also use that. Like,
Yeah, that will depend on, like that said, how it is going to add value to their existing profits or revenues or cutting of the labor maybe. And you may not have a right product fit with the same product for everyone. Maybe you need to have a that same product maybe but a different variant with a lesser features, slightly lesser cost for the smaller farmer. So you will have to
yes,
play around with your product also in that case.
yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am, actually, one student's mic is not working. So he's
Yeah.
asking that if I want to know someone like who is confused in what domain should I focus, like should he be focused on his graduation degree, biotechnology, or do anything else? What should we do?
Okay, maybe in that case, I can suggest if you don't know what your idea is, you don't know what you want to work on, I would say, I think this is an interesting concept nowadays. Do try to intern with different domains. Do your internships where you get some hands-on exposure so that you realize what interests you or what is your core strength, which where you can contribute. So do get that exposure, work with different domains, different kind within biotechnology also. It's a huge, vast field. Do those internships, get a field exposure, and then talk to those people and then build your idea. Talk to your, I would say, even do the research lab projects within your university. Talk to your professors. Like, even if you have any craziest idea or any simplest idea, talk it out, validate it with them, and do some work in the field in terms of internship. That helps a lot.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Any other questions, or should we move? Okay, I think no questions now.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Ma'am, still your presentation that was left, I think.
Dr. Rachna, that was actually on the same lines which students have already asked questions on. So it will be repetitive. There is no point of that. I think they actually asked on those lines only.
Okay, so should we wind up now, ma'am?
Yeah, that would be fine. And I would be happy to answer any questions later on. Also, you can share my email ID with the students. They can write to me if they need any help later on. They have any queries, they can write to me.
Okay, sure, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you so much, ma'am, for your wonderful and insightful session. And many thanks for your brilliant session today. Thank you so much for boosting the confidence of our participants. And I'm sure the students, they have great learning from your session. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rachna and Dr. Manjula. It was good interacting with the students, and I would be happy to hear from them if they have any queries.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes.
welcome. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
Dr. Prashant Pawar has also joined. Okay. So I welcome you, sir. So let me give a brief about sir's profile. Dr. Prashant Pawar is having more than 12 years of experience in the field of training and consulting. He has been working with startups and possessing hands-on experience in business development, strategic management, HR and training with corporates. And sir has done BSc Agriculture from MPKV Rahuri, then MBA from Pune University, and he has done postgraduate diploma in agriculture extension management from Manage Hyderabad, and PhD in business management from Nagpur University, and he has done critical study of management practices in selected small and medium scale agro companies in Pune region. And Dr. Prashant is also associated with the Atal Incubation Center, MIT ADT, supported by Niti Aayog, and Delhi-based renowned venture capital company, Supreme Incubators Private Limited, as an advisor for startups. And I will again welcome you, sir. So we are looking forward to hear from you, sir. And over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, madam. Actually, it was a nice introduction. And basically, what I was intended to, it's not a forum that, I can talk more about me. It's all about the student, the future entrepreneurs that, they'll be actually doing wonders in the future. And I'm very sure that before starting of session, also I can realize the kind of questions that they have asked and the sting that they have shown. I'm very sure that it will be an interactive session. So I'll
Actually,
be
sir, I mentioned because most of them are from agriculture domain also and engineering also. And
okay. Yeah, that's good. So thank you so much, ma'am.
okay, sir, over to you.
Yes. Yeah, so dear students, before starting the session, I would like to ask few questions to you. Like already ma'am has mentioned that your background is mixed, like engineering and agri and all. So few part of the discussion, the earlier um, session guest, they have briefed. I was hearing it out, and some questions also I heard. So let me talk about the direct thing, that is the ethical steps that everybody is looking forward. So I think all of you are quite familiar with the startup. What is basically startup? Can anybody brief me? What
So
is your
startup is just a
yeah, yeah, please go ahead.
it's like if an with an idea we have to plan, execute, and strategize the things in a market, like this uh, how this thing is useful to the market, what type of problem this is solving to our society, and like who is going to pay for this, who is our potential customers,
Okay.
all this.
So, yeah. So let me give you the hint. Any other answers? Okay. So see, I'm not going to tell you something which is very new, but then the things is, it should be very clear that what is the entry level things that we can understand. So startup is basically is a concept where you are going to hunt for something unique, which is unique in itself. For example, it will be a session of example. So I'll just tell you one of the startup here, they have actually come up with the problem statement that whenever the researchers, they are working in the plot, I'm talking about agriculture. Okay, so we know that when agricultural experiments are being done, it will be actually doing on plants in the field. So it is on-field projects, something like that. So they have invented a problem that while counting the number of plants and while identifying the plant growth and the effect of the product which have applied, it's a tedious process. It's a critical aspect. And the startup founder has worked on that. That if we can have some sensors and using the drones, if we can have counted such type of plants and its growth, then it will be very easy because there will be no field staff required. There is no one who is required to perform the operations at the plant. And this is how the concept has emerged. So the point here is, I'll just turn off the camera because of bandwidth issue. So the point here is they have come up with a problem statement that a product which is highly beneficial for researchers who will be working in the plot, right? So if we are talking about startup, first thing is what exactly we are planning to do. Okay, so I'll not brief about the startup and this thing because I think you're quite familiar with the stuff, but I'll be going directly to the last point. So startup is newly established business, usually small, started by one or two or maybe group of individuals. What differentiates it from other new businesses is that a startup offers a new product or service that is not being given elsewhere in the same way. The keyword is innovation. So here I wanted to ask a question. What do you mean by innovation? All our techies like engineering graduates and agriculture people. What is innovation?
So innovation is just finding out some new technology from an existing one. Like make most
Okay.
of from the list one.
Okay. Anyone else?
To bring something new and better in an existing thing.
Okay. Good enough. Suppose the headphone which we are using, what kind of innovation you will bring? Suppose I am giving you an option that we now need to innovate a new thing in the headphone. What you will do?
It's like we have to wear headphones from the morning to evening, so that's make
Hmm?
a stress on our ears. So we will work on that.
Okay. Okay. Now let's take another example of, um, you know, the startup idea. So I'll start with this idea. Now all of us know that while we are in a meeting, it's very tedious task to remember the points and to create the minutes of meeting, right? So how can we invent something which can, while somebody is discussing the points, while we are in the meeting, how can we immediately convert it into the minutes of meeting? Can we take this as a challenge and then we can create the business plan, like a product which is converting the conversation into the words and further words converting into a logical way, logical sequence, I would say. Can we take this as a product?
Yes, sir.
So is such kind of product is available in the market? No
There
idea.
are products to take of a conversation.
Yes. So it may happen. I don't know. So just for the sake of example, I have taken. Now the point here is the pain area is to draft the minutes of meeting. And we all know that some people, they do recording and then they will draft the minutes of meeting. But again, it is time consuming. How much time? Suppose we have spent 1 hour of meeting and again somebody will be investing another 20 minutes. So to invest that 20 minutes in writing the minutes of meeting, he again need to listen the entire conversation. This is not feasible, right? We are spending more time, though we can come up with some kind of innovative things, but it is time consuming. So the point here to tell you this example is we have to identify the pain area, and once we have identified the pain area, then we need to innovate the things. Once we have innovated the things, then the outcome will be seen. So I do understand this. See, you are all the technical people. Can we use the algorithm so that which can convert the words into I mean, whatever we are speaking, it will be converted into words, and further word will be converted into a notepad kind of stuff. Is that possible? All techies, I'm asking a question to you.
Yes, sir.
It is
Yes,
possible.
sir.
Okay. Can we work on the same idea? How much time you would require?
I mean, it would be tedious because we don't. The machine doesn't know what point will be important and what will be not. So it
Okay.
will convert the whole speech into the text. But the main point of MOMs is that only the main points are required. So we'll have to work on the algorithm in that specific way so it understands the context of the meeting and take down specific points.
Right. So the point here is we have to come up with that is the challenge, right?
Yes, sir.
See, I'll go by using the algorithm. Now I'm giving you an example of the company where I am currently working as an advisor. It's farmer007.com. Now this person is from NIT Warangal, and he has spent good amount of time and quite good amount of money to understand the pain area of a farmer. Now, this is a very simple framework that he has done uh, in association with IIT Mumbai. He identified that whenever we are launching any kind of application, farmers are not ready to download that application. So, what he has done, he has created a web-based portal. Now, all of you can just go to your mobile if you have time and just type over there farmer007.com. He has developed 6,50,000 websites dedicated to each village. So every village is having a dedicated website. Now, what is the use of that website? The website is containing all the information which is required for the farmer, like who is the village development officer, who is agriculture development officer, what kind of cropping pattern is there in your village, what kind of input companies are there in the market, from where I can take the seeds and all. So it is not in a commercial way, but he has developed that website which is not consuming any kind of space in your mobile, and then he has invented that product, and now he has done the testing in Andhra Pradesh, then in Telangana and Karnataka. So I'll not tell much about the concept, but the way I'm telling you is just for your understanding. So I'll just one minute, I'll just share that point. Okay, so startup is actually should have that innovative concept. Then only we can go ahead and we can start the things. I'll directly go to the last slide now because I don't want to spend your time. I know that all of you are quite smart and you know what is Startup India, how it is giving the benefits and all. So, I hope this is visible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
So the first thing is try to conceptualize. See, in your college, you might have so many things to discuss. Whenever you come up with, say, if you are, uh, sitting in your cafeteria, you might have few concepts in your mind. On daily basis, you are spending a lot of time to think about any business plan or any kind of innovative things. But what is happening to that? What is happening after the discussion? Suppose आपके दिमाग में एक idea आया and then you have discussed it with someone. Hmm? What is the next thing that you do?
So first we will research about this, like how much legit our idea is, like
Hmm?
how much percent it is going to work.
Okay. See what happens, I'll tell you the things because everybody is coming through that channel. You will discuss the idea with your friends. In case your friends like that idea, you will further explore that idea. You can discuss it with your faculty members or maybe a few industry people. What after that? You'll be coming up with the laptop. You are doing the research. Research means you are just searching the keywords. Now, what exactly you need to do while searching the keywords? See, actually, the training need to be given to all on how to Google properly, how to search properly. Because suppose I'm typing over there as good startup plan, I'll be getting thousands of links. Where I should put, where should I click? The moment I'm clicking on the particular site, I'll be spending a lot of time. I'll be getting the information. Then I'll come to know that no, this is not what I'm actually searching for. Or it may happen that you have done the research, rigorous research for 2 hours on a particular concept, and later on you have moved out, and then again tomorrow you are starting with the same thing. So what is happening, while we have some kind of idea, we are spending more time just on some non-productive activities. So the point here is you should plan the activities. Like there should be a logical sequence. What is the first thing that I should do if I got the concept? Now spend good time on conceptualize the things. Document properly. For example, you have taken the data from some research paper or some kind of uh, website. So try to save that URL so that it will save your time in future. And you should also track that what you did on that particular project. Then you can move upon. So try to do the things. See, in India, lot of startups are actually registering, and many startups they are filing for closure. Please remember, I'm not putting any negativity, but I'm just making you aware about the facts. Do you know the success rate of startups? It is the success rate is very small, I would say. But then, if you look upon the kind of things that they did, so it's not a 1 day activity, it's not 2 day. The point is, many people, many students, they are actually thinking that it should happen in an immediate way. It should happen instantly. No, it will not happen instantly. You have to spend good amount of time. Focus area. What is your focus area? Many people are asking that, sir, in which area we should start a startup? Which is the beneficial area? Which is area where we can have the more scope? There is no such area. It is just simple thing that what kind of focus area you have identified. You can spend good amount of time in understanding your focus area. Don't freeze it. But once you have freeze, then you need to make it sure that you can give your 100%. You can get the get the things. Then problem statement, as I have said, the first thing is problem. What problem you have identified? Why you wanted to coming up with such kind of startup? That idea. Once you got the idea, then what is the next process? Idea, then you know all the steps. Idea, then feasibility, then MVP, minimum viable product. So I have to spend good amount of time on testing also. Now many people, now I'm specifically working in agri-tech sector. I have also worked with some other areas, but agri-tech is the main thing. So if we consider agri-tech, agriculture and technology, the combination of these two things, some people they are very good at technical aspect. Some people are good at the domain knowledge, so they can be treated as domain experts. So you have to have a team which can club together all kinds of skill sets. Now I have an example, one of my students, he is in the second year of his engineering and he has worked on 17 different projects in IT. All the projects are Europe and Australian clients. So what he has done something unique because he know that what he can do with the technology. He just identified. Now he is not actually working rigorously in setting up a startup. He's just working on providing the solution. So one example I would tell you, he has got one client from Denmark. Now this client, he wanted to develop a product which can predict the potholes on the road. So this guy, what he has done, he has developed a product which is in aligned with the Google Maps. So Google Map को अगर आपने zoom करके देखा, then you will be able to identify the potholes before you are reaching to that point. So that is what innovation is. That is what the new thing is. So he has got that particular product, he has developed the product and he has given to the client. So in the second year, how can he able to achieve those skill sets? What do you think? What he must have done? It's all about the interest that took him towards reaching his goal. So interest is very important and interest need to be converted into a passion. This is my passion. You should know by this time, you should know what are your skill sets. You should know what in which particular area you are good. If you don't know, go to your faculty members because they are closely observing you. They can guide you in that. Go to your friends who can unbiasedly give you advice that which are the area I'm good at. See, everybody is unique in this world. You don't know your capabilities, you don't know your potential. You won't believe when I was doing my MBA, in the very first session when we all need to introduce ourselves. At the time I was not having confidence. I was shivering. So when I go back and I'm analyzing those things, sometimes I'm just smiling and I'm saying that how poor I was. I was not having the confidence. Actually, I never tried to do that. But somebody has identified that potential and they have given me the opportunity and I have proved. So most of the times it happens with you also, the same thing, that you don't know your potential. So we need to identify our potential so that it can be correlated with the startup, like whatever you wanted to do. Now suppose you are very much interested in technological aspect. You should know that this is the skill sets that you have. You are very good at something and you should convert that into a passion, and passion need to be converted into whatever your startup or maybe your activity which you wanted to start. So problem statement is very important, and before entering into these things, we should know first what you wanted to do. Don't run behind some things which you really don't know about. Don't get influenced by others, like if this sector is very good, then we'll go over there and all. So spend good time on proposal. So while we are applying for any incubation center, first we need to spend good time on proposal. So the steps are very much clear. That first thing is you need to come up with your concept, your idea. Once that idea is there, then replicate it on a piece of paper. Very simple things are there. I mean, there is no need to create very high fundu presentations and pitch desk and all that will come later on. Even at the pitch desk, what need to be seen, it is different story. But try to convert whatever things are there in your mind on the piece of paper, just a piece of paper. Once it is freezed, spend good time on identifying that whether this is a good thing or not, convert it into a business plan. Then we'll do that business modeling and all. Once we have fit into business modeling, Then we can see what kind of, whether it is a kind of service. And now I will not restrict you only for the product. It might be a service. So if it is service, create the process flow, create the plan, go meet people from that industry, try to collect the information, and don't just rely on the laptop, don't just rely on the secondary data. So identify, go and interact, then you will understand. So spend good time on proposal. And once you are through with that, then you can develop with the prototype and all. Prototype also you can take the help now. Engineering institutes having all the facilities and all the equipments are there. So you can go ahead, you can do. In case of agriculture also, laboratories are there. You can go ahead and you can do that things. Then articulate the things. What you need to showcase, first need to, first try to see that whether you are convinced about your product. Many a times it happens that we are going ahead and we are actually try to seek the opinion of others, that what do you think, ये product चलेगा, क्या लगता है तुम्हें? उसको पूछने से पहले first we need to ask question to ourselves, what is, give the rating to the product, and then you can do that further testing and all kind of stuff. Once we are through with this, then we can go for scalability, whether that model is scalable or not. Then you can take the help of domain experts. You can go and meet the mentors and all. And there are many, incubation centers. Government is also taking the initiative. Now, when you are participating in any kind of hackathons or such kind of startup, contest, make sure that don't go over there with the with kind of some attitude like, I'll be showing them this and then I'll convince. First, try to see the worth of the product, then you can move ahead and you can think about it. So I think as time is very short, it's just 15 minutes left, I believe. So I think we can interact more on various things, concepts, or if you have any questions like that.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Sir, my question is, sir, like right now, I don't have any idea. As just ma'am suggest, you can do internship in various sectors to identify the idea that that you can work on it. So until we didn't get the idea, what can we do after the BSc Agriculture, sir? Like if I talk about myself, I don't like teaching. I don't want to teach, but I have interest in researching and all that stuff.
Okay.
But sir, I am confused what to opt, like MSc or MBA. So please, sir, suggest me.
Yeah, what is your good name?
Sir, Ansh Verma.
Ansh.
Yes,
okay.
Sir.
Ansh, see, first thing is it's not about what you like, what you don't like. Okay. First thing is, because see, we like many things, we dislike many things, but it doesn't mean that we are only focusing on the likings. Are you getting this point? Because
yes,
it's about the life. First thing is, try to identify your interest. So I will not use the word like, but I will use the word interest. Try to identify your interest. As you said that you don't like, now don't do that comparison part. Just try to focus on your own thing. That is, now research, for example. I would love to do research. What kind of research? Maybe you are spending good time on Google. Is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now you have developed that attitude of just spending on Google. Can you further explore and go ahead and identify someone who is working in agriculture and try to understand his insights related to agriculture? How do you see then? For example, you have gone to some small scale industry, processing industry, for example, and you have interacted with them, that how this function is all about and how you do, from where you are collecting the raw material, what is the quality aspect. Do you love to do that, or do you like?
Sir, right now I didn't do all that,
No, no.
honestly.
See, I'm not asking about right now, but I'm just asking you a question, as you said. So
Ye-
research
Yes,
is
sir.
very
As like curiosity, I have curiosity to
so
go and
curiosity is the word that you are actually hunting for. So your curiosity is very high at very peak. So you will try to get the information what you want, right?
yes, sir.
So this brings an analytical type of ability of yours, which will be very helpful in the business. So now don't look towards it as whether you have an idea or not. Just try to identify that the skill sets on a piece of paper. Try to identify what you need to do. I mean, um, suppose you wanted to spend good time on watching the inspirational movies, motivational movies,
No, sir.
or
I don't used to watch all this stuff.
I'm not talking about you, but I'm just telling you. So try to write down those things. You might do any other things, but try to figure it out and write on a piece of paper. Okay. Once you wrote those things, then you can discuss it with your mentor. I believe that in your college you might have the mentor, mentee, like your faculty members. Go and discuss with them. Go and discuss with your seniors if they have. Discuss with your elders, and then try to find it out. Try to first identify your personality type, and then you can move ahead, because it will be more complementary for you. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So don't focus on idea. Try to identify as a person what you are.
Okay,
Okay.
sir. Sir, like so I mean to say, what should I go for after BSc? Like, I don't have any idea yet, but I need to figure out what abilities I have. So, what should I
Yes, so
mean?
as suggested by your ma'am, I would also agree that you can do internship. Try to learn the things by doing the internship, so that you will come across. Now, right now we don't know what kind of capabilities you have. The way you started working, the moment you entered into the corporates, you will realize that this is the thing that I'm enjoying. This kind of work I'm enjoying. This is the strength that I have. People will come to you and they will say that you have done these things very nicely. So we have to spend good time in understanding those things. So I
Okay,
think you
sir.
can take the practical experience, and then you can further decide whether you wanted to go for MSc or MBA or any other activities.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, as you said that identify the skill set. So, like, what are
Uh,
the initial steps? Can you please
Yeah,
tell?
see, everybody is having, as I said, everybody is having the unique skill sets, but we are not knowing that fact. The thing is, try to see that how people are observing you. So, for example, you are in a group of four people, like your friends. So, try to seek an honest opinion you should get, that as a person what you are, and which areas you like. And also you need to identify your own skill sets, that if you are creative enough, suppose you have a free time of 1 hour, what will you do in that free hour?
Sir, in that right now I like mixed thoughts. I
Okay,
should do
mixed out
this, I should
whatever.
do that.
So you will go for a movie, or you will spend time on cooking, or you will spend time on crafting something, or you will spend time on, like, it can be anything. So if you have the creativity, intrinsic part of the creativity in your behavior, then you are more creative. So see what I told to Ansh, I'm telling you the same thing. When you are spending good time to, right now we are just analyzing ourselves from others' perspective. What he is saying, what she is saying, what my mother is saying, what my faculty is saying. Now try to focus on your own thing, that which is the thing that you like the most, which is the thing that you wanted to spend good time with, and then slowly and gradually you can write down on a piece of paper you have to spend good time. It's not a one day activity. And further, there are MBTI and other tests also where we can get the personality traits. So in your institute also some faculty members are there who can do such kind of analysis. We can go ahead and we can find it out. It will be highly beneficial. Okay, so for skill sets, definitely we need to seek the help from others.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, welcome.
Good evening, sir. So Shivam this side.
Yes, good evening, Shivam.
So when a person talks about anything and we are attending the lectures from last 15 or 20 days. So, sir, after that, our mind is developing in a way when a person like in our family, someone is talking about agriculture something. So, we have a idea about that we should start in a this way. So, this is a good opportunity. So, sir, I want to ask that how can we identify that this is the best things we should proceed because we have more than hundreds of idea in our mind.
Absolutely. So see, what I will summarize it. In every day, we are having about more than 50,000 thoughts are coming in our day, in our mind, and it is getting wiped out. So it's not about 100; it's more than that. But the thing is, when we see the opportunity, so opportunity is not something that you can always, you know, click on that opportunity. It should, I mean, you should have that feeling that yes, this is something that I was hunted. So there is no such thing that where you can get influenced. Just try to identify that how I can contribute, how I can see, how I can develop, what I can contribute, how it will be beneficial that if I'll play this role over there. If you see the success stories, uh, if you get the guidance from such people who have already started business, at that time the situation was different, the person was different, the area was different, everything was different. So how we can get influence? Because today what I'm talking is about the reality. Today is today. We just need to get the the extract out of that discussion, that this is the way he has started. Now you need to identify that what you wanted to do. Now I'm giving you my example. I did my BSc Agri, but I never wanted to be on the field because I never liked. Now if I am going to trace that why I have taken agriculture and why I have not liked the field, why I was always running away from the farm. So the thing is that I have developed myself in that sense. I have born and brought up in a city. So I don't have any kind of affiliation about that farm. I have just taken the admission for agriculture at that time because somebody has said, like what you have mentioned. At that time that agriculture is having good scope, I have taken over there. The moment I have entered, I have realized, no, this is not the field. I wanted to go for the business management because this gives me more good things. I have read the first business magazine when I was in 10th standard. So, see, the things are like in agriculture, the seed we are now, whatever kind of materialistic things we are putting, water, then fertilizer and all, the plant will be flourish in that way. So there is no harm whether we have selected right or wrong, or whatever has happened in the past is past. We can't change it. But what is today is the reality. So I can find it out that, now this is the thing that I told you. Now, my example, I have never good at writing something, but I'm columnist now. So the opportunity comes, I have started, I have developed my interest, and now people are coming and they are saying that, sir, you are writing in a very good manner, and we have got influenced. We got so much information and all. So I'm writing in the local language in Marathi here in Maharashtra. But yes, so the opportunity, like at the age of 35, I got that opportunity and I have encashed. So opportunity will never come like, seeing the age. It is all about that how you are developing your interest. So maybe you are getting thousands of sessions, thousands of speakers, they will be talking, but you need to find out that yes, this is what something that I was like. What do you do for your normal things? Suppose you have entered into a shop to purchase a shirt. So if you are going with the pre-mindset that I wanted to go for a blue color shirt, I wanted to go for a yellow color shirt, then you have simplified it and you have narrowed down the scope. But if you are just going casually over there and just you are identifying that what is good in this shop, and then you have found something and then it clicked, yes, this is the thing that I was actually looking for. It's like that. I know that this is not a logical example, but this is how the things are happening. Believe me. So spend good time on recollecting the things. Now session started, session ended, then you got influence. Yes, now I'll do this, I'll do that. But it will be lasting only for few minutes. Then immediately somebody will say, Arey, we'll go for a cup of tea. You will go, you will run. Then everything will get forget. So try to focus, and this will come over the period of time. You have to narrow down the things and you need to write it down on a piece of paper. Please remember me. Always you should have a paper, a diary, and a pen with you. Whatever things you really face, you just need to write it down. It will help you because human mind is that I am discussing so many things with you. It after 1 hour, probability is that I forget what I have discussed with you. Shivam, I hope I've
Yes, sir.
made
So,
it
but
clear.
so one little more query. So,
Hmm.
like after separating all their thoughts, five thoughts in my mind, which I wrote in write down on a piece of paper. And so, as my point of view, I think all these five business setup idea is equal importance.
Hmm.
Like I want to quote all that idea in front of
Hmm.
you.
Hmm.
So, like first, organic food. So, sir, in present market, organic food is like higher costly things which is not affordable to a middle class family or anyone.
Hmm.
So we can work on this like a cheaper price of organic food. My sir, second idea is about
No, no,
some
Shivam, we'll go one by one. We don't have
yes.
that much time, I believe, but just we'll take the example, then you can, correlate that. Now,
eh,
organic food, the what is the problem statement? Why you wanted to work with organic food?
So organic food is because it's a chemical free and it's not that much toxic like whatever the
Chemical free. No, no. Chemical free means chemical. Not that much toxic. Is
yeah
again you're creating a vague statement
yes
without chemical. First thing. Okay. So
yes.
simplified. Second, I mean second point. Why you wanted to go for organic food, like the concept, the business idea I'm talking about.
So because nowadays what's the people believe is organic food is best for their health and it's a good market in a premium way like where we can earn a lot.
Okay. So see. Okay. Any other points which can justify that
Sir,
organic food concept? Hmm.
sir, one more thing that's it is not introduced to anyone's like everyone has not like direct exposed to the organic food. So we will introduce to, in which society who persons have not idea about like what is organic food, what
Okay.
are its benefit.
So
Yes.
if I'm telling you that if you are tempted to eat pani puri, and I'll tell you that please don't eat pani puri, but take this organic product which is very bitter in taste, but you have to do it because it's organic and chemical free, and it is not creating any problem. Do you think that people will buy?
No, so but in every situation, sir, the things will be different.
So the point here is, don't talk about what people are thinking, what people wanted, what people are actually, seeking. It's all about what you wanted to do. Now, I have not developed. Suppose this is a kind of spices that my wife has made. Now, unless and until I am not proving the worth of this spice, nobody can take. Like
Yes.
this is a masala for chance, for example. So now
Yes.
the people who are taking the chance, they can able to identify the importance, not anyone else. But I should not stand and I should not sell it to everyone. This is not my target audience. So it is the other way around. Apple phones, it is not people wanted Apple phone. It is company that they have launched that Apple product, and then people have identified it that it is a status symbol and we wanted to get into Apple, as this is because it is a very good gadget and it creates an impression. So when you are talking about any concept, first thing is what is the value addition that you are going to give. So simplify it. So simplification in your business is to make the organic food affordable for customers. This would be the thing, the underlying statement. This is the objective. Under that, you can identify that suppose you wanted to sell organic product, whether raw product or processed product. If it is processed product, in under which segment? Is it about the food items, or is it about the beverages, or is it about any kind of um, what we can say, product that you have developed? So it is very, I mean, we should not make any vague statements. We should not have any vague thoughts. It should be crystal clear. So organic, in organic what? Is it residue free or it is pure organic? In pure organic, what kind of certifications you have? Then after certifications, then which kind of target audience you are looking at? See, people always prefer what is available in the market. So you need to create the space for your product. There are so many players, like one of the companies I'm telling you which are working in organic food is Mera Kisan. Now the CEO is my friend Prashant Patil. He came from Australia and he has thought that in your way only that organic products are in good demand, so I can go ahead and I can start. He spent years to understand the market, and then finally he has launched the product. Now they are dealing with farmers. They are the aggregators. They are collecting all the material from farmers, the certified one, and they are selling it under the brand name of Mera Kisan. So we have to narrow it down. The scope of the project is need to be narrow. It should not be very vague. I hope I have answered your question, Shivam.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Any other question? Like about startup or how to do the things? Okay. So, madam, I think they are done.
Okay, sir. If there are no questions, then
Yes.
okay. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much for your fascinating and insightful session. This was an extremely informative and above all, it was a really very valuable session, and I appreciate all your time and support. And thank you, sir, for motivating us to be successful entrepreneurs, and especially for those who are really going to start their ventures in future. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and I wish all the best to all the students. In
Yeah.
case
Thank
they
you,
have.
Dr. Prashant. This is Manjula here. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for
yeah.
being
Hello,
with
ma'am.
us. It was hello, sir. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. And if in case any student is having any queries or if they wanted to reach, you can share my email ID with
Yeah,
them.
sure, sir. Sure, sir. We'll share.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Welcome.
Thank
Bye.
you.
And thank you, students. Okay,
Thank
I have posted one link in the chat box. So please, for attendance, fill that. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.